So these videos, as it's probably explained in the title, are a little bit different than our usual videos, and they're going to be a monthly shorter video just explaining our expenses and income as we travel and are semi-retired full-time for the last sort of 4 years. It's more focused on the semi-retirement aspect of our lives and sort of giving a bit more of an insight to people who are either planning to becoming semi-retired or are on that path already or already doing it. It kind of gives you a bit more of a background on how much it costs us to live, where our income comes from, and sort of our monthly expenses that we get on the road and also when we're working jobs like we are at the moment out on the cattle station.
And also might help for like some people that maybe think it's not possible for them to do something like what we're doing. Like obviously we've still got to work. So, you know, we're not just, it's the whole semi-retirement sort of thing is that, you know, we're not just traveling 24/7. So hopefully this will just help to be able to show, you know, the things that cost us the most at certain times. Like, you know, we've been tracking this since before we were traveling now. Yep. So we've got a lot of years of data behind it and we can actually see exactly what things cost us more money than others and where all our money goes, and that sort of helps us to be able to keep doing this.
Yeah, we get a few questions about our expenses and income, and this is something we've wanted to do for a while. We are in the process of redesigning our expenses and income tracker that we use on a laptop every month. It does take a little bit of discipline and you've got to be pretty honest with yourself. You've got to put in everything to make it work.
Worth it.
And yeah, so we've been doing this, like Kel said, for nearly 5 years now, and it gives you some good history. It's better than a budget, I feel, or we feel. And you can kind of look back on it a little bit more and see your peaks and troughs and look back at it as years progress and see if you're in front or behind. So yeah, we're just going to go through the month. So April has just finished recently, and so we're going to do one of these every month at the start of each month for the previous month and give everyone a little bit more of an update on where we're at and what we're doing, and some people might find it interesting. If not,
so April we didn't actually work at all. So we started off the month back down, still down in the southwest, and we then travelled to get to where we ended up at the end of the month, which was the Northern Territory. So we're on our way to Queensland. Haven't got that far yet. So it's a bit of a mixed month of being at home plus being on the road. So obviously when we're at home, some costs are minimal, other costs are higher. So it's just sort of all evens out when you've got a bit of a mixed month. So for the month of April, we spent $745 on accommodation. Our fuel expenses were a bit over $1,700, so obviously we were travelling a fair way. Groceries were just under $600. We spent almost $800 on maintenance stuff, so that bits and pieces. Obviously Jed was rebuilding the trailer, we put new tyres on the trailer, all those sorts of things, so that all goes in as like a car and van maintenance costs. We had fun, so nearly $400 on fun. That's our alcohol, food, eating out, all those sorts of things like go under fun activities. We had about $600 just worth of miscellaneous costs, so just little bits and pieces that come up that don't really fall under like groceries and all that sort of stuff. Our monthly ongoings were pretty high for April. That's because we pay our rego for the car annually, so we get it all over and done with. So that was almost $1,400 for last month, and that goes into like our ongoing costs. So that one normally isn't quite that high. And then we just had other sort of old mate business expenses, postage and all that sort of stuff. So that was nearly $400. So for the month of April, we had a total of just short of $6,500 as far as expenses.
which is usually high.
That's fairly high, yeah, for the what we actually did in the month.
We like to try and stay around the $4,000 to $5,000 a month is usually pretty good. And because we didn't work at all in April, our income was really low. We have some investments, so we get some dividends back from them, and they come and go depending on the month. But and then we also get a little bit of money from YouTube and a little bit of money from our website. So with all that combined, our income for the month was just over $800. So yeah, it's not much, but when we're not working at all, it's a little bit of income that we don't usually have. Yeah, so we are definitely in the red for last month of about $5,500. But you get those months, and that's what we want to explain to people with the type of semi-retirement life that we live. We don't just have a job where we've cut back the hours and still work that full-time job but in a part-time role.
Well, we just don't have a job we don't work that's a regular paycheck sort of thing. So it fluctuates all the time.
And this is the importance of, I think, tracking your expenses and your income. And if you get used to doing that and the discipline on doing that, it takes the guessing game out of where you're going to sit in the future.
It was a huge thing for us when we first started tracking, is sort of just seeing where those things all start adding up from, because we don't work to a budget. We never really have, not for a very long time. It just doesn't work. There's always unexpected things that pop up. You're always sort of moving things around to make it work, and doesn't work for us. So expense tracking, while you're not working to a budget, you still know where your money's going.
Yeah.
We feel like it just makes that a little bit easier to then plan towards being able to cut back work, being able to travel more, being able to, do something different and not be stuck doing 9 to 5.
Yeah. So we are working at the moment to refine this tracker, and it's going to be available on our website pretty soon. So we're just tweaking a few of the little bits and pieces to make it user friendly.
Finally making it a bit easier for us as well.
Yeah, so we're getting a professional to do it pretty much. But it should be up on our website pretty soon, within the next month or so, and we'll let everyone know that. So if you head over to our website, subscribe to our newsletter, we'll keep everyone informed, and it'll have a link on there if you want to download it. Cool.
And I guess then the only other thing is, like, if there's anything specific you want to know about, like with leading up to going semi-retired and how we find work and what we do. Obviously, we've talked bits about it along the way, but if there's other stuff that you want to know, like, drop us an email. We're more than happy to help out and give pointers and give more information, because if we can encourage people to get out and do something different, we're always happy to help.
I hope this video was helpful and gives you a bit of an insight of our expenses and income as we travel and work semi-retired around Australia. And we're going to do one of these every month, and you can follow along.
This is where we need a beer, because that's how you end it. Drink bottles.
Cheers.